I told you that we were going to clamp the horn to a form and let it dry. So then you'll have some time on your hands, maybe to do some things like pound and shred your sinew that you're going to glue to the back of it and get that ready. And I'm assuming you know how to do that, but we may go into that also a little later. But I thought I'd show you the clamps I use. These are clamps that I made. They're a lot cheaper than a Jorgensen clamp, and they're homemade. Just buy a box of bolts and some nuts and washers at the hardware store. And there's two types. There's this type and this type. And this is how they're mounted onto the form to hold the bow horn in position. And this is a form. It's a curved form. It's got a slight curve to it so that I can put a back set in the horn, or not. You can have a flat one. It doesn't matter, because you can bevel the area where the lap is going to occur and put a back set in your horn. Now this is a Jorgensen vise, very handy, but also pretty expensive. And you can notice in here a little wedge that was used to wedge the horn over away from the vise or the clamp. And you can use a lot of these things when you've clamped a horn to it to nudge the horn a little bit into shape. And here you see this type of clamp that fits over the 2x4 or 2x6 that's actually the form. And then the other form I showed you, or other clamp that I made, is like this. And it goes over like so, and then holds the horn in a position that you want it to straighten it out. And so I use both of those. I use a lot of these, and then I use a lot of this vertical type of clamp that I've made. And they're just a small piece, about 1 inch wide. This is about 6-7 inches long. And some bolts. You don't need really big bolts. 1/4 inch bolts will do. And then cut yourself a form out of a 2x6 to clamp it to. Like I said, there's different ways of doing this, but this is how I do it. And this gives a slightly curved form, gives us a back brace to the bow when I'm finished. So that's some things you can do while you're waiting for this horn to soak or to dry. And you first have to soak it before you bend it, and then you have to dry it before you put on the sinew. And so you have time on your hands, quite a bit of time actually, a couple of weeks at least, to shred your sinew and make any clamps, anything like that you'd like to do.